Is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman?
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances, while the township supervisor...
Imagine this a small-town mayor, not just accused but neck deep in scandals, living a life of luxury at the expense of her constituents. We're talking lavish trips, first-class flights, and posh dinners, all on the taxpayer's dime. But wait, this isn't some big city politician we're talking about. This is Tiffany Henyard, the embattled mayor of Dolton, Illinois, a town of just 20,000 people. And if you think that's bad, buckle up, because it's about to get a whole lot worse. The FBI is circling, and rumor has it they've got a lot of dirt on her. Henyard might be looking at over 20 years in prison.
Coming in, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. But like I said, you have just some accountability.
Let's start from the beginning, shall we? Henyard's troubles first came to light when WGN News blew the lid off her questionable spending habits. How does a mayor of a small village like Dolton manage to spend over $67,000 in just 5 months on travel-related expenses? We're talking first-class flights, luxury hotels, and even personal shopping sprees. The town's citizens were already up in arms over this, but that was just the beginning.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
Henyard's administration tried to hide these spending records, blatantly violating state transparency laws. Even after the Illinois Attorney General's office ordered them to release the documents, they refused. That's when WGN took them to court, and a judge ordered the village to turn over dozens of pages of credit card statements. And oh boy, did those records tell a story. Between July and November 2023 alone, the receipts showed tens of thousands of dollars spent on high-end hotels, restaurants, and even a personal photographer. It was like reading a list of expenses from a Hollywood starlet, not the mayor of a struggling Illinois town.
So that's one of the reasons I vote no when we go through our board packets. It's like, some of this stuff, it's like you don't know exactly what it's for, and then when you ask a question, there's no answer.
But it doesn't end there. Things got murkier when details about Henyard's so-called charity, the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, came to light. This charity, supposedly set up to help cancer patients, was quickly accused of being nothing more than a scam. It conveniently forgot to file its financial records, and there was a glaring discrepancy between the funds it raised and the amounts reported. Was Henyard siphoning off more money here? That's what many began to suspect. And the whispers only got louder.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
Now, here's where it gets really juicy. There's a civil lawsuit floating around that could be the nail in the coffin for Henyard's already shaky political career. The lawsuit involves allegations of inappropriate conduct during a work trip to Las Vegas. You heard that right, a work trip to Sin City. According to the former assistant who filed the suit, she was inappropriately attacked by a village trustee during this trip. And guess who's named as a defendant in the lawsuit? Tiffany Henyard herself. The details are downright chilling. The assistant claims she felt disoriented and extremely lightheaded after a dinner with the trustee and woke up the next morning in his hotel room with no memory of how she got there. The next part is straight out of a nightmare. The trustee allegedly FaceTimed one of Henyard's police officers and bragged about the assault, even showing the unconscious woman on camera.
Fox 32 has investigated Henyard's use of a police security detail, taking officers off the street and costing thousands of dollars.
What's even more shocking is how Henyard handled the situation. Instead of protecting her employee, she allegedly placed the woman on unpaid medical leave without her consent, effectively silencing her. The public was outraged, and the calls for Henyard's resignation grew louder.
One way that the government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
And now, the FBI has entered the scene, and things are heating up fast. According to multiple sources, the FBI has started raiding Henyard's office and the offices of her close allies. They've been digging through piles of documents, emails, and financial records, and rumor has it, they've found more than enough to build a strong case against her. Word on the street is that the feds are looking into everything from the misuse of taxpayer funds to allegations of corruption and even money laundering. But here's the kicker: the FBI isn't just focused on Henyard. They're looking at her entire circle. The investigation has widened to include several village officials, police officers, and even some local business owners who might have been involved in her schemes. One business owner reportedly told the FBI that Henyard demanded a political contribution of $3,500 to renew his business license, and when he refused, his license was pulled, and he was falsely accused of illegal activities. If this is true, it's a classic case of pay-to-play corruption, and the FBI is ready to pounce.
Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henyard, the People's Mayor and People's Supervisor.
The town is buzzing with rumors. People are saying that the FBI has enough evidence to charge Henyard with multiple felonies, including fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy to commit extortion. And here's the most shocking part: she could be looking at over 20 years in prison if found guilty. That's right. The so-called super mayor could be spending the next 2 decades behind bars.
Deep debt, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
But Henyard isn't going down without a fight. She's lawyered up big time, bringing in Beau Brindley, a high-powered criminal defense attorney known for his controversial tactics and high profile. Remember the scandal involving R. Kelly and inappropriate content with minors? Brindley was the one defending Kelly's ex-business manager, who was knee-deep in that mess. The fact that Henyard is bringing in someone like Brindley shows just how serious this is. She knows she's in deep trouble, and she's pulling out all the stops to try and save herself.
Mayor Henyard is in a situation where she feels like she's under attack.
But this decision could backfire. Brindley's reputation isn't exactly spotless. He's been accused of coaching witnesses to lie under oath, and his methods have raised eyebrows in legal circles for years. And don't forget, he's not even being paid by the village for his work. That's right, Henyard is footing the bill herself, which raises even more questions. Why would she hire such a controversial figure if she had nothing to hide? What's she so afraid of? To make matters worse, Brindley has been showing up at village board meetings with Henyard, and he's not just sitting quietly in the back. No, he's front and center, right next to Henyard, even going into the board's closed executive sessions. This has sparked outrage among the trustees and the public alike. Why is a criminal lawyer attending village meetings? What does he need to know that couldn't be said in public? It all reeks of desperation and panic. And speaking of desperation, there are whispers that Henyard is already preparing for the worst. Insiders say she's been moving money around, trying to secure her assets in case the hammer comes down. There are rumors that she's even considering fleeing the country if the charges stick. Could you imagine? A mayor on the run from the law? It sounds like a bad TV drama, but this is real life in Dolton right now.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there won't be anything, it'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on.
The FBI investigation is intensifying. Sources say that agents have been combing through Henyard's emails and phone records, looking for any hint of illegal activity. They've also been talking to former employees, and the stories coming out are nothing short of explosive. One former staffer claims that Henyard used village funds to pay for a family member's personal legal fees. Another says she saw Henyard hand over a large envelope of cash to a local businessman in exchange for political support. The list goes on, and it's not pretty.
Or the administration can adhere to some financial limits. We're not looking to necessarily...
And then there's the issue of her security detail. Henyard's personal security detail has been a point of contention for years. She's been accused of using police officers as her personal chauffeurs, bodyguards, and even errand runners. This detail has cost the village thousands in overtime pay and pulled officers off the streets where they're needed most. One former police chief even claimed that the security detail was more about intimidation than protection, saying it's like she's running her own little army. And now, with the FBI breathing down her neck, there's speculation that some of these officers might turn on her to save their own skins. The walls are closing in on Tiffany Henyard, and everyone in Dolton is watching closely to see what happens next. Will she step down and try to cut a deal with the God? Or will she dig in her heels and fight to the bitter end? One thing is for sure, this isn't over by a long shot. As the days go by, more and more people are coming forward, ready to spill the beans on Henyard's alleged corruption. The local news is flooded with interviews and statements from residents who have had enough. "She's been playing us for fools," said one Dolton resident. "We deserve better than this. We deserve a mayor who actually cares about us, not someone who's just lining her own pockets." There's even talk of a recall election, and some trustees are pushing hard for it. They want Henyard out, and they want her out now. "She's a disgrace to this town," one trustee said. "We need to clean house and start fresh. We need to show the world that Dolton won't stand for this kind of corruption." But despite the mounting pressure, Henyard remains defiant. In a recent statement, she dismissed all the allegations as political smears and vowed to fight on. "I'm not going anywhere," she declared. "I've done nothing wrong, and I will prove my innocence." But can she? With the FBI closing in, a civil lawsuit looming, and the public turning against her, it's hard to see how Henyard can survive this. The evidence is stacking up, and it's only a matter of time before something breaks. So, what's next for Mayor Tiffany Henyard? Will she face justice for her alleged crimes? Or will she somehow manage to wriggle her way out of this mess? And what about the people of Dolton? Can they ever trust their local government again after this scandal? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep watching, keep questioning, and keep holding those in power accountable.